Hey guys, my name's Samir, and today we'll be looking at my top 10 characters that I would want in from My Hero Academia and My Hero Strongest Hero and Ultra Impact. Look at this cool transition for me. Of course, there will be manga spoilers. We'll probably put that on the title, of course, but I have some manga spoilers in the top 10, not in the honorable mentions, of course. But these are personally my favorite, not my favorite characters, just my top 10 variations of these characters I would want personally. So let's start with my honorable mentions, of course. Honorable mention 1 for Bakugo. It's the movie version of Bakugo where he gets 1 for all from Deku and uses it against 9. I think this is a pretty cool Bakugo version of him because it doesn't, because most of the time he's just spamming explosions, which is very cool, of course, but I feel like this shows another side of Bakugo where he's willing to take stuff from Deku, and I think it's cool. I don't really like the movie that much, but I think this was a very cool scene. Not top 10. My next honorable mention is Izawa. This is probably one of his most badass moments right now in the show, of course, but I feel like he's probably going to get some more in the future. But this was pretty cool. Good introduction to heroes. I'm very happy that they animated this pretty well. I think he just looks cool just knocking these guys out. I really like Izawa, and I hope he gets some more hype characters from him, because personally there's not enough hype characters for him personally, so that to make into the game. But I would personally love them to put more Izawa, because he's such a cool character. Gives me the Kakashi vibes. And finally, Prime All Might. Personally, I didn't put a lot of All Might because it was a jammed list, like so many characters in here, of course. And Prime All Might, I was like, should I just put regular All Might? I'm like, no, let's put Prime All Might because he's very different. We've never seen it before. I think he's pretty underrepresented, underappreciated by most people like how good he is. I think he'll be a cool inclusion. And let's go on to first number 10, which is Azawa Shinzo. This is Azawa Shinzo using Azawa's scarf and his cool voice modulator, and shows how much he can kind of be used and stuff like that. I think Shinzo is a really cool character in that his quirk is kind of evil-like, but he's not. And I think this would be a very cool representation for joint exercise, which is not very popular, like arc in general. Like most people don't really care for it. I think it's a very cool arc, honestly, and I think Shinzo makes it a really good arc for me, honestly. And I hope he gets represented well in My Hero's Strongest Hero or My Hero's and Ultra Impact. And I think Shinzo is a very cool character. Number 9 is Dark Fallen Angel. He just came out season 5, and I got this cool picture of him. So this kind of showcases his in the show or in anime, it shows that he wants to get better, but he doesn't really know how, because Hawks has to explain to him that it's probably better for him to not hide his weakness and just go full on his power. And it shows that he can fly, which is just cool. And I think this will probably be currently in the show, this probably will be his best character if they make this his best character, because this is probably the most hype he has been since season 1, not including in the manga. But I feel like this is just a very cool moment. Number 8 is a manga spoiler, which is Support Bakugo. Then there's a lot of Bakugos that could be potentially put in, like Hollister Bakugo, AP Shot Bakugo, but personally I won't put Support Bakugo because I feel like this really shows his character, of course, and I think this is a very cool moment for him where he realized that he needs to move on his own. Get it? Because it just says it in the manga thing. But I think Bakugo is a very cool character, of course. He's very loved, of course. And I think this perfectly encapsulates why he's super cool. And I feel like if they put this in the game, this will probably be the ultimate support character, honestly. And I think that's why he is number 8 for me. Number 7, Hobo Stain. For a while in the anime, he was my favorite character. Dude, this guy is such a badass. I hope he gets in the game for Ultra Impact, and I hope they do him well. I feel like he's just very cool. His blood curdle makes him very skillful to use. So honestly, I want him to be a hard character to use, but very if you smash him, he's gonna be super good. And that's who I hope for Stain, because his crook is very hard to use. He himself is very skilled, and that's why he's a very strong vigilante on the show, and very strong main boss kind of character, kind of, in that he is very determined, and I think that's very cool. I just love Stain. Like, he just looks so cool. Number 6, Fierce Wing's Ultimate Support Hawks. And honestly, this Hawks is very cool. Like, you can also use the Hawks where he helps Endeavor gets faster. But I personally think this Hawks is personally my favorite Hawks, is that it shows perfectly how good, important it is to be rescuing civilians, which is your job, of course. And Hawks does it super well. It perfectly showcases the potential of how important the hero rescuers are, and like how they can improve. And it gives like a kind of like a end goal for like characters like Uchako, Lita, and stuff like that, who wants to be like saviors, of course, like rescue people. And this Hawks is super cool, and the scene just looks so beautiful. I just really want it, and I think I really want it to be good. Honestly, this is number 6, and Hawks is honestly my favorite character because he's just super cool. But and I just like this scene overall. I really want it to be in both the games, and looked very cool. Number 5, I gave this a weird background, but I just thought it looks cool. And this will be Sports Festival Bakugo, where he uses both sides in a very epic way. Like, just look at him. He just looks badass. I probably should have got a better picture, but this is the picture I chose. And honestly, I feel like I would also be very hyped for Sports Fest Deku, who fights against him. But I feel like Todoroki is just the star of this fight, and just look at him. He looks super cool. I would honestly like summon hard for this guy if he comes in. And honestly, I hope he is very cool in the game. Number 4, Plus Ultra Endeavor. This move, Prominent Burn, just showcase how cool he looks like when he uses that move. And I feel like if they showcase anime as well, he could be like a very cool looking character. Honestly, that's pretty much all I really got. Like, I finally honestly probably would have put him lower, but I just like the name Plus Ultra Endeavor, so I was like, number 4, let's go. But honestly, I would honestly really love this Endeavor to come in, because it showcases how powerful he can be, and that while All Might is a very strong, like probably the strongest number 1 ever, Endeavor is definitely no slouch in the fighting department. He's very powerful, and I just like that about him. And just his eye being bloody is super cool, and the windscreen of him just probably putting his hand in the air will be very hype, of course, and that'll be just cool. So number 3 is Dancing Doggy. It's a manga thing where, like basically he reveals himself. Like, it's a manga spoiler, so you probably shouldn't be watching this, but it's just him dancing, kind of, and he just looks super funny. But I feel like this will be honestly like a very hype character for them to put in. I like Doggy. He's cool. And honestly, I think this perfectly entail how insane he is, and I just want him in the game to be dancing just while he's fighting, which is super cool. I feel like this is probably one of the more hype, like I feel like he probably could be like an anniversary unit, because he's just very hype. Like, honestly, just very hype. And number 2, Vigilante Midoriya. This is after he fights against Shigaragi, and he gets a new like character design again, and it changes some stuff about him, which makes him very looking cool to me. And his first fight encapsulate how much he has changed, and his new changes, and how they're impactful. And I just think he looks very cool, and I don't know how much they will change, like how much he will be shown as a vigilante, but he looks super cool. I feel like he'd be definitely cool in the manga. I hope in the anime he becomes very cool. And now for our top honorable mention for me is Twice Army. I didn't find a good picture, but Twice makes a big army in the Meta Liberation Front army war arc, and that was just very cool. Just him fucking swarming people. But I feel like there's not much depth to that except for him just swarming them, which I think is very cool. But that's why I put him as my top one, because I like Twice, and that's probably his prime moment, honestly. And I hope he looks. I hope they just make him swarm shit, because that's cool. Now, finally, for number one, which is probably the most hype character they could put out, honestly, and it is number one, Plus Ultra Shigaraki. Just look at this man. He looks like he's dying, and he just looks very cool. Like, I just think this really showcases how insane he is and how broken he is in his design, and I think he looks very cool. And I think, I don't know, I think this character probably will be one of the most hyped characters they could put out when he comes out, and I think he easily can be in any unit, because look at his name, look at how he is. I think he could be honestly one of the strongest characters they could have on disposal, and I agree with it, because I feel like this Shigaraki perfectly embodies like Shigaraki as prime potential, and he has very cool fights, so I hope they animate this guy well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this is it for me. And this is my top 10 My Hero Academia characters that I would want in a My Hero game. And I hope to see it soon. I'll probably make some videos on it. Hope to see you guys there. Peace out.